What's up, everybody? It's Ken here. This is another episode of the No Money Real Estate Podcast. I'm in Kitchener, Ontario at Canadian Hot Tubs. This is a company that I bought 2.5 years ago. And the whole plan with buying this company was seeing the potential for the future, seeing how it was very clear to me that this company could scale with the products that they sell and everything. But we were buying a shit show. We were buying a company that was broken down and needed to be completely rebuilt from the ground up, and revenue would grow. Well, it's happening right now. And in this episode of the No Money Real Estate Podcast, I'm gonna walk you through what's happened.
Hey, my name's Ken Dunn, and I'm a real estate investor. I want to welcome you to the No Money Real Estate Podcast. On this show, I'm going to interview elite level real estate investors from all over North America. And I'm going to help you to see one thing that all successful real estate investors have in common. They built their portfolios without using a dime of their own money. I've got a portfolio of $300 million in real estate. That includes resorts, apartment buildings, commercial buildings, and I built the entire portfolio without using a dime of my own money. Real estate is a business that anybody can get into, but the strategies that those tight real estate investors use to build massive portfolios have been kept secret for decades. Now, because of this show, I'm going to reveal them to you. So let's get started.
All right, well, listen, I'm walking in right now to the original office. When we bought Canadian Hot Tubs, this was the entire office. And as I turn this around, this used to be a showroom. And in this room, there were some hot tubs on display, and the sales guy sat in the corner, and the owner was here in the office. But now, this is actually an inventory facility. So what we did, one of the first things I saw, is that sales will grow when organization flows. And so we looked at the facility that we had here, and we realized that we would have to get more space. So we went back to the landlord and we found another unit just 3 doors down, which I'll take you down to in a minute. By doing that, by moving all the admin staff out of this unit, and the sales process out of this unit, and the showroom out of this unit, it allowed us to really set up a world caliber production facility. And that's what you see here. You can walk around, you walk into it. You know, a single hot tub that's manufactured has hundreds of little pieces, from elbows and just all kinds of stuff, little washers, and oh, it's crazy. Then the second thing, once we got kind of our locations all figured out, the second thing we wanted to look at was there's 2 sides to the business, right? There's your production side, the product you make, how you do it, and then sales and marketing, the revenue, so production and revenue. And when we first bought this business, let me just turn this around a bit. This is the production facility. This is where these hot tubs are made. And it's totally a different facility than when we first bought the property 2.5 years ago. I'm going to explain a little bit about the revelation that I had, the realization that I had in the beginning, and what we changed this into. So the motto of this company, or the pitch of this company, is that they are a cedar hot tub manufacturer, and they're handmade cedar hot tubs. But when I looked at what was actually happening here when we bought the company, they weren't really the manufacturer. What they would do is they would go out to other companies, third-party companies, and they'd get the other companies to make the milled wood that we use for our hot tubs. So you can see that these cedar hot tubs are made out of. This is called a stave. It's a single piece of cedar that's been milled. It's had tongue and groove put in. It's been smoothed out. So this is a stave. This is a standard 4-foot long cedar stave. And if you look at the profile at the end of it, you can see what it was. But the challenge was, when we bought the company, they weren't actually making the staves. They were buying them all. So it was really more of a production company. So here's another thing that we did when we took over this facility. We changed everything around. We're on a production stop right now here because of some new equipment that we picked up that is the crown jewel of the production process. But essentially, we basically turned this entire facility around. When we bought the company, they could only make 1 hot tub a day. Now we can make up to 30 hot tubs a day because of the system we have in place. The other thing I wanted to do, as we were looking at the processes, is we had to figure out how to reduce the cost. And here was one of the biggest costs. That 4-foot long stave that I just showed you, for 1 4-foot long piece, it was costing us about $12. Now, I could buy a whole cedar 2x4 by 10 for about $12. So that means 2 of those would be 8 feet long, which would be $24. So you get the point here, right? So what we did is we said, how do we bring this process internally? Like, how do we get to the point that we can do that milling? we can start off with a 2x4 and turn it into that. So we did a bunch of research, and we found out that we can actually buy the computer equipment to do all the milling ourselves. It's called a CNC machine. We started looking at acquiring a CNC machine in North America, and we found out that, on average, we were getting quotes for like $300,000 or $400,000 for one of these machines. So we went back to our contacts in China. We found out the company that makes the CNC machine in China, and we bought one for $7,500. Now, that machine is gonna be here in 2 weeks from now. It's just on its way over right now. And we have this place all set up already. So the CNC machine is gonna go right here, right beside this. And over here, we're gonna start buying the raw 2x4x10 cedar. It's gonna sit on the floor. Every morning on a computer screen that's going to be right about here, it's going to say what hot tubs need to be cut, and they're going to cut it to length first in this chop saw, and then feed it right into the machine. So that means the cost of a 2x4x4 that's milled is gonna go from $12 down to about $4. And there's 60 of those staves in a 6-foot hot tub, which is our most popular selling hot tub. 60 times 12, that's a lot. Let me just see here. I wish I was better at math. Right now, it's costing us 60 times 12, $720. Now it's gonna go down to 60 times 3.75, $225. So we're gonna save $500 in material on each hot tub. Now we do 10 to 15 hot tubs a day. So 5,000 to 7,000 a day. Here's another thing. This is where they cut the bands and the materials. So you can see how everything's been set up with racking and just better systems in place. So we got all this set up. We got it all working. We're just waiting for that CNC machine to get here. Got a bunch of orders to fulfill. Now the next side of the coin came. As we were perfecting the production side, the making of the tubs, we started working on sales and marketing. We reached out to a friend of mine who has a company that does lead generation just for hot tub companies. We did a partnership with them. We used to run all our ads ourselves, and it was costing us about $35,000 a month. By outsourcing to a friend's company that I have, we dropped our sales and marketing costs down to $25,000 a month. And for the last 2.5 years, I hired a sales guy. He was the only sales guy we had, but he's amazing. He makes about $20,000 a month. He does $250,000 a month of sales. Working with him for the last 1.5 years and studying what he was doing, it became clear to me that we had enough leads that we could hire more salespeople, and then an average salesperson could do $150,000 a month in gross revenue. And so that's what we did. We're about to go into our production office here in Canadian Hot Tubs. And now you can see down the side there, we've got 4 amazing salespeople. So this is our new showroom. We've got a couple of our cold plunges here. We make cold plunges in natural cedar and onyx. There's our Chillflex Pro, and then we've got some other hot tubs. We've got a 2-person oval tub. We've got a 5-foot tub here in the front, a 6-foot tub in the back, and the 8-foot party tub here on the side. So that's really the essence of this. So what we've got set up here now is a system where we can scale the company. We have the ability, because of all the enhancements we made in the production process, to make up to 30 to 40 hot tubs a day. We can do it in a pick and pack type process. And then once we got all that done, then we focused our art on selling and driving revenue. Zach, now I promoted him to sales manager. He works directly with me. And we've got 3 new guys we just hired that we're gonna work with and get them up and running and scale the company. So now it's really simple. We can generate as much leads as we need. When we get these 4 guys working, we'll be able to cover that with the $25,000 a month, but we figure that we're gonna have to spend another $5,000 a month for another sales guy that we hire. But $5,000 in ad spend plus $6,000 a month in a base salary means it's gonna cost us about $8,000 to $10,000 a month to make another $150,000 in gross revenue. So once we get to 10 salespeople, we're making $1.5 million. Anyway, that's kind of it. There's a lot of other little pieces to this puzzle that are important to talk about when we talk about scaling a business. I'm the CEO of the company. I focus on sales and marketing and overall infrastructure. The president of our company, Lisa, is in charge of operations and finance. So we know our jobs and responsibilities, and then we have a significant support team. At the time I'm doing this video, when we bought this company, they had a total of 5 employees. Now we have a total of 21 employees. And we're doing about $250,000 a month in revenue, but as these sales guys get their feet under them and figure this out, that'll start scaling significantly.